In today's video, we're going to be having a look at the replacement or replacements for my newer SL60W video light, the Sokani X60 RGB. Yes, that's right, RGB. And as you could probably tell, I'm really excited about this. We're going to be having a look at the key features of the light itself and what you get with it when you buy one of these. So if you're on the market and you're looking for a video light for YouTube, for short films, for music videos or anything like that, then this video might be the one just to tip you over the edge. And I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check this light out for yourself at the best price. Now quickly going back to the newer SL60W, this was my very first video light and I think I got it around November 2019, and ever since, anytime I do a video like this, it's always been my go-to light. And it's been absolutely fantastic, but just recently I started wanting a couple of extra features on a video light, and that included bicolor and RGB. But as soon as you start looking for those two things in a video light, the price just skyrockets. So when Sokani released this light, I couldn't believe the specs, and I also couldn't believe the price. And it's really exciting because it makes lights like this more accessible to a lot more people and makes achieving great shots a lot more easier, especially when people are working on a budget. Now I will be completely transparent, Sokani have sent me this light out to review. However, I have also bought this light myself because when they sent it out to me, I had to have another one. I was that impressed by the specs. But I'm under no obligation to say anything they tell me to. All the things I say is my own opinion and based on tests that I have conducted. So when you purchase one of these things, the first thing you'll find is a case with interior padding. And I absolutely love a dedicated case. It makes things a lot more easier to organize and transport. And have a look at this one. It's got a real nice texture and feel to it. It's got some great padding as well. There's also a hook here because inside there's a strap so you can put it over your shoulder if you wanted to carry it that way, or you just have the handles where you can carry it like so. And there's also feet at the bottom as well, so if you're putting it down, it doesn't get dirty or anything like that. Inside we have a few compartments, including a zip at the top for where we can put the power supply, a reflector, and the light itself, and this thing just looks awesome. Now you might be noticing this light doesn't actually come with a remote, and that's because you control it using your phone, which is pretty awesome, and I found it's the quickest way to adjust settings using this particular light. But I'll speak a little bit more about those kind of features later on. Now I have found a downside with this light, and that is with the power supply, and more specifically the power brick. Sokani have put the power brick closer to where you plug in the light, so no matter where you put it, the power brick is always going to be dangling. And it would have been nice if Sokani could have included like some straps or something like that so we could put it on our like light stand instead of it just dangling all the time. It would have also been nicer to see the cable be a little bit longer, because I'm pretty sure this cable is shorter than the one I normally use on the newer SL60W. Now this light is packed to the brim with features, but I'll be focusing on the features that I think I'll be using the most. First of all, we have a Bowens mount, so we can use all our favorite accessories and light diffusers. Now I am actually using the Sokani light to light this video right now, so you can see for yourself how good the light quality actually is. And I'm currently using this 36-inch parabolical softbox with the hexagon grid in it as well to give me real nice diffused soft light. I also have a 26-inch diffuser and a lantern one as well, so I can use all of these and all the different lights that I've got. And I'll leave links in the description below to the light diffusers I use if you want to check them out for yourself. Now, this light offers a maximum output of 80 watts, which is 20 watts more than the SL60W, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for myself using the SL60W for over a year, it is actually a noticeable difference. Sometimes when I was using the SL60W, especially when I had a diffuser on, I felt like I wanted a little bit more power, especially when I was trying to light up larger areas. And this light also ensures that when you've got colour, it stands out and makes it bright enough so it's clearly seen on camera. Now let's talk about the build quality of the light itself. For a light that's 80 watts bicolor RGB, it comes in a real small form factor. I mean, look at the size of the light compared to the SL60W. it just makes the SL60W look like a tank. And it's mighty impressive that Sokani have been able to throw all these specs in such a small light. There is a fan at the bottom of the light that is constantly on and you can't turn it off, but it isn't really noticeable, I don't find, when you're filming videos like this. Currently the light is about a meter-ish away from me and my microphone is right here, and we're going to do a sound test. I'm also going to do a comparison with the newer SL60W, and then I'll do a closer test with the microphone right above the light to see which one is quieter or louder, just for some comparison. Okay, so from those tests, I think the SL60W was marginally quieter, but what you've also got to consider, it was only that little bit less loud to a light that is 80 watts bicolor and RGB, and also the fan is more exposed on the Sokani light, where the fan on the SL60W is enclosed in the case itself. So that's mighty impressive from the Sokani. With the fan being at the bottom of the light, there is a real good distribution of heat, and the light never gets too warm for the touch, even when left on for hours at 100%. But I think that's the same with any LED light across the board now. They're really good at distributing heat and they never get too warm for the touch. This light maybe gets lukewarm, but again, nothing significant. It's cool, it's fine. But it's warm, but it isn't, never mind. The light itself is constructed all out of metal and it feels really durable. I think the SL60W was made out of like a hard plastic, so this thing, even though it's really small, feels so much more durable. But despite its small nature, this light will handle any diffuser you throw at it because it has a really mighty impressively strong yoke mount. I think that's what it's called. On the back of the light, we find a couple of knobs and buttons. Now, I was confused at first because there wasn't a big on-off button. There was just a button, and I didn't realize you had to hold it. So I was trying to turn on the light for like 10 minutes. Realized I had to hold it for a few seconds, and then it powered up. And it's a bit of an unusual design. You don't usually see that, but I like it. I like things that are unusual. I'm unusual. The other button is to change the channel, and then the knobs you can change the intensity of the light, the color temperature, and also navigate through the menus and different modes and effects. The LCD screen at the back is a little bit basic, but it is really easy to understand and navigate. But again, we have to remember that this is a budget light. Well, I'd say it's budget anyway. The brightness of the light goes all the way down to 0% and goes all the way up in 1% increments to 100%. So it's good that you've got a real nice large range there. It also has really good color accuracy with a CRI rating of 96 and a TCLI rating of 95. So you know you're getting really good accurate colors from this light. So you've also got color temperature mode, and this thing is ace. It's something I've always wanted on a light, and it doesn't sound significant, but it just means everything to finally have this on the light. It goes all the way down to 2800 Kelvin and goes all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin. So you've got a massive range there. And that's fantastic if you want to match the color temperature with different light. Say for example, you've maybe got a practical light like this, or you're shooting outside in the daylight. Sometimes it's really good to be able to match the color temperatures so you've not got two different color temperature lights. And then you also have a green and magenta setting to really dial in that white balance perfectly. And then we have the hue, saturation and luminancy mode, which is one of the key features of this light. It's incredible and works really well, and you've got all the colours. All of them. You can then choose a colour and then delve deeper into the settings by changing the saturation and the brightness as well. But this light also has a lot of built-in light effects where you can adjust the brightness and the intensity. We have things like police sirens, we have faulty bulb, TV, paparazzi, fire truck, ambulance, and a ton more. And as well, because I have two of these things, I can either control them together through the app itself, or I can control them individually. And as a side note as well, you can also power this light with batteries. There's an adapter you can get for like 50 quid, and you can use like, I think it's Sony NP batteries, don't quote me on that, but I think you can use those type of batteries to power it. So if you're nowhere near a main source of power, you can just use batteries, which I think is again a fantastic feature to have on a light like this. But that's all I've really got to say about the light, even though I've said quite a lot about it. But I'd be really interested to find out, would you be interested in getting a light like this in the future? And what is your current lighting setup? What are the lights you're currently using if you find yourself using any? Please let me know in the comment section below. And if you did like today's video, make sure you hit the like button and maybe share this video around with a mate who you think could benefit from a light like this, and maybe consider subscribing as well. It'd be great to have you on board. And all that is left to say is thank you for watching, have a great week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!